I think. Are we recording? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so page 215. It's called the triangle inequality theorem. Okay, so one more time. The sum of any two sides must always be greater than a third side. So they say AB plus BC must be greater than AC. That makes sense. It has to be, right? Or AC plus BC must be greater than the third side, right? Has to be. Or AB plus AC must be bigger than the third side, okay? If that occurs, a triangle will exist, okay? So, ready to turn the page? Let's go on and try that. Let's take a look at number 6. So, obviously it looks like number 6 works, so we have to prove it. And you're going to have to do this on your test on Friday. It's really easy to prove, but if you don't pay attention and you have no clue, then you're not going to be able to do it. So watch. Here's how you do it. Simply, you have to show this. We have to show all 3 cases. All 3. There are 3 cases. 6 plus 10 plus 8 is greater than 10. That's true, isn't it? I mean, that's 14 is greater than 10. That's true. We can also show 6 plus 10 is greater than 8. So I'm going the other 2. I want to go this side. These two added is bigger than this one. Then I went these 2. And the last one I'll do is I'll go 8 plus 10 is greater than 6. All of that is true. So all of them have to work. All of them have to work. And if all of them work, then we know for sure it's a triangle. Now sometimes you don't get the triangle. You can't see it. So then what you've got to do is you could either draw it, and you could use your protractor and your ruler, and you can see if it works. But sometimes it's easier just to do the math. So, does this triangle exist? Well, let's check it out. Will it? Well, is, first of all, 3 plus 12 greater than 17. Is that true?
No.
So, we don't need to draw this triangle. 3 plus 12 is 15. That wouldn't touch, right? That wouldn't touch. So, no, that triangle does not exist. Okay? How about number 10?
No.
Okay, is 5 plus 21 greater than 16? Yeah.
And it equals...
Is 5 plus 16 greater than 21? It's equal. So that would be a triangle that collapses to a straight line. Does that make sense? They would come together, they'd touch, but you'd have a straight line. So that's a no, because it's got to be greater. So that's a no also, okay? How about 11? Let's try it. Okay, so we got to try all 3, and we have to show on Friday's quiz, you got to show all 3. So you got to show 8 plus 5, is that greater than 7? Yeah, that's 13. Is 8 plus 7 greater than 5? Yeah, that's 15 is greater than 5, right? And is 5 plus 7 greater than 8? Yes. So you have to show all 3, okay? You have to show all 3, and I showed all 3, so I can say yes. If you can find that it doesn't work right off the bat, great. No, it doesn't work, done. No, it doesn't work, done. But if you want to prove that it works, you have to show all 3 cases. I'll tell you why. In this first example, if I hadn't used the 3 and 12 first, I could have probably proved it was equal until I got to it. Does that make sense? So you got to show all 3, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, thumbs up. It's called triangle inequality theorem. Okay, now let's move forward to page 220, okay? Okay, now, this is the hinge theorem. It's pretty simple. If this angle is 35 and this angle is 45, then this side would have to be longer than this side, right? It makes sense, right? If this angle is bigger than this angle, then its opposite side would have to be bigger. So BC would have to be less than ED, wouldn't it? Right? This is the smaller one. So BC is less than ED, okay? Now, this thing's pretty obvious. You can even see it, but 95/20. So BC's got to be greater than. I mean, it even looks bigger, doesn't it? Right? 90/90. So what do you know about these two sides? They have to be equal. This side's got to be equal because their angles are equal, so it's got to be equal, right?
Are we just gonna?
Right? Okay, now I want to go down to number 7 for a second. Okay, shoot all the way down to number 7. I want to do 7 and I want to do 8 and 9. Okay. Okay, so 7. AB. AB is this one. In fact, I'm going to highlight it because sometimes it's easier if I highlight them so you can see them. AB is that side, and AC is this side. Okay. 145, 135, 145, 135. So this side must be longer. This side must be longer than this side, right? That's 145. So AB must be greater than AC. Does this seem easy? Okay, good. Okay. Okay, these two dashes mean what? These angles. What does this mean about these two angles? So these two, they're equal, right? So if that angle is equal to that angle, what do we know about AB and CD? Okay. They have to be equal, right? Okay. Ben. Shh. Okay, so then if this angle is equal to this angle, then their opposite sides will also be equal, right? Okay, now this one's a little bit different with the angles. Angle 1
It's fatter.
and angle 2. We know that its opposite side is bigger. So this one's a longer side than the 17. So angle 1 must be bigger. So then angle 2, because if its opposite side is longer, then its angle would be longer or bigger than this angle. So we know that angle 1 is greater than angle 2. This totally makes sense. A lot of geometry is just common sense. You guys agree with that? Okay, now slide over because I want to get to the hard one here pretty soon. Oh, where's the one I'm looking for that you need to know? Hold on. 13. Go back to page 216. We'll do 13, okay? Okay? All right. Now, if we check this out, we've got 5 and 13, okay? Now, third side. In fact, I'm going to draw a picture so you see this, okay? I want you to see this. I've got 5 and 13. I really want you to see this. I've got one side is 5, the other side is 13, okay? And if I think about this, I make this one be 13. I just want you to watch, okay? One side's 13, right? The other side's 5, right? So if the other side's 5, then if this is 5 like this, okay, you watch my picture? Okay. This is 13.
It has to be over 8.
There you go.
But
This-
under 17.
Yes, you're ahead of me. Good job, guys. Thank you. You're totally right. So let me show you what these guys are seeing. So this third side has got to at least be 8. It's got to be bigger than 8 because if it's exactly 8, it collapses to right? Collapses down to a line. So we do know the third side's got to be bigger than 8. Bigger than 8, right? Now an easy way to do that is just what's 13 minus 5? 13 minus 5 would be 8, right? Okay. Now, if you drew the triangle like this, I want you to watch this. Okay, now Ben was right. Let me show you why. Because you could also draw a triangle like this. Here's my 13. And I could draw my 5 like way over here like this. I mean, that could be a triangle, right? All the way across like that. Span that. Does that make sense? I mean, yeah, super like obtuse triangle, but you could. So then it could be so this thing can't be any bigger than 18, right? Because if it's exactly 18, you got a flat line. Does that make sense? So this one's got to be less than 18. So we can say this, using a little bit of math, we could say that the side, let's call it S for the side, okay, with S for the side, it's got to be, S has got to be greater than, we're going to make it bigger than 8, right? So S has got to be bigger than 8. S is, if you read it backwards, but less than 18. And that could be all the possible sides. So in my journal, the easy way to do it. Okay, you want to see the super easy way to do it? Okay. So if you add them, if you add these two numbers, you'll get the biggest possible, right? 18. And if you subtract them, 13 minus 5, you'll get 8. That will give you your smallest. So your range is from 8, that's S for the side, to 18. Can't be equal, because if it's equal, we get flat lines, right? And that's not a triangle, right? Okay. Thought I had one more I wanted to show you. It's not showing me the one I wanted to show you with the inequality, but okay. I'm going to make one up. I don't want you to see this. Okay. Okay, I want to do one last one, and I'm going to make one up because the book isn't showing it, but watch this. Draw this, please. You may have to draw this in your journal or somewhere, okay? Let's draw it like this. Okay. Okay, draw this. I want you to draw this triangle, okay? Okay, this is like a problem you're going to see today. Or not today, but on Friday. Let's make this 8. We'll make this 9, and we'll make this a 2x plus 5, and we'll make this a 30 degrees, okay? Okay, there you go. I want you to just draw this. Just draw this picture somewhere, okay? I want everybody to draw this picture, okay? Draw this picture. Hello? Okay, don't draw this picture. When you get to the test, you won't know how to do it.
Nope.
Well, no, I want you to draw it.
I did it.
Thank you. So here's the thing. Look at this picture. Which angle is bigger? Which angle is bigger?
It's gonna be
Angle 1
2.
or angle 2? Which angle is bigger?
2.
Everybody agree? 2?
Because the 8 and 9.
Totally right. Josiah's right.
And so
Angle 2 is bigger. So you know that the 2x plus 5 has to be less than 30. Okay? This will help you guys out with your homework. Okay? So I do know that this angle here has to be less than 30, right? Can't be equal because I know because of the 9 and the 8, this angle is smaller than this, so I said 2x plus 5, this is 30. Cody, question?
Oh, is that 2x plus 5 the angle?
Yes. Yeah, it's the angle. We don't know what x is, okay? So let's find out what x can be. Let's solve for x.
How about we subtract 5 from either side?
I think that's a great idea. Minus 5, minus 5. 2x is less than 25, right? You guys agree with that?
I think we should divide it by 2.
Thank you, Ben. Divide by
I think
2.
it's a really good idea.
Divide by 2. X is less than 12.5. Now, what we did is this. If x were more than 12.5, listen, if x were more than 12.5, this angle would be more than 30. Can't be, right? If x were bigger than 12.5, this angle would be bigger than 30. It can't be. This angle must be less than 30, right? So as long as we keep x less than 12.5, this angle will be less than this angle. Okay, now there's one more thing. You can't have zero angles and you can't have negative angles. That makes sense? So there's a range. There's a range, and our range comes from this. We also can't let 2x plus 5 be 0 or negative. So we say, let's make sure we make it greater than 0. This angle here, no matter what it is, it can't be 0. Because if it's 0 degrees, there's no angle, right?
Yeah.
And plus, if it's negative, there's no angle, right? So let's find the lower range by making sure it's greater than or equal to 0. An angle cannot be 0 degrees, right? So let's solve. Minus 5, minus 5. 2x is greater than negative 5. Divide by 2. X must be greater than negative 2.5. Okay, now, we need both. So whatever the value of x is, it must be in between negative 2.5 and 12.5. Now, one more time. Almost done. You need to listen. Shh, shh, shh. Almost done. Think about this. If the value of x is less than 2.5, this angle is going to be 0 or negative. Can't be. If the value of x is less than negative 2.5, this angle is negative. You can't have a negative angle, okay? Or if the value of x here is bigger than 12.5, then this angle will be more than 30. It can't be more than 30 because this angle, angle 1, has to be bigger or smaller than angle 2. Does that make sense? So we get a range. I'm going to write this as negative 2.5 is less than x, which is less than 12.5. And that's the range of values for x. Okay? And that's going to be the hard one on the quiz on Friday, but I'm hoping it makes sense to you, okay?